into what are the root causes of frustration, overwhelm, stress, anxiety, so that we could really begin to let go of those unwanted feelings and step into the feelings of peace, of calmness, of joy, of fun, of excitement. And so diving in to the roots, it reminds me of a woman that came to me and was working with me, and she was so overwhelmed with every little thing in her life that was just triggering her, so overwhelmed that she couldn't remember when she was hungry. She couldn't identify where she was supposed to go, who she was supposed to be meeting, and everybody she came into contact was literally driving her crazy. Her emotions were all over the place. And so when I worked with her and we really got into these 3 areas that I'm going to share with you, she was able to step out of those experiences and step into an experience of joy, of happiness, of excitement. And not only that, she was able to release like 30, 40 pounds, not by being on a diet or following an exercise program, but literally getting rid of the emotional baggage that was causing her to have anxiety and stress and overwhelmed. So let's talk about it. What's the first thing we want to look at to discover the root of your stress, of your anxiety, of your overwhelm? And so we want to dig in to the feelings and the emotions of your past that you're still holding on to today. So if you have resentment, if you have anger, if you have dis-ease in your body, where your body's uncomfortable, sick, there's most likely lots of energy, lots of stored up emotions that are stuck in your body. Energy wants to be in motion, emotions want to be in motion, they want to move. But if we're not moving them through and we're not releasing them and processing them, they're literally taking up residency in your body. They're living in your body. And they're trying to get out, and they're wreaking havoc on your temple, on your physical body. And so, here's a simple example to let you to see if you have stored up emotion. Is when you don't process emotion, it's called energy stacking, and the emotions and the energy get stacked up, right? And then the littlest things put you through the roof. Like someone could call you on a Saturday morning when you wanted to sleep in and wake you up, and all of a sudden your day is ruined. Or you could be at the grocery store and somebody moves their cart in front of you, and it's the worst, it's so frustrating and so annoying, right? So think about if simple things set you off. That means you have some unprocessed emotion, and we want to look at where is the root of this emotion. Let's clear it out. Let's not by talking about it or it's about letting your body talk it through, not your mouth, but feeling the emotion in your body and releasing it and moving it and reprogramming it. So if you want to get rid of stress and anxiety and overwhelm, you get to get in touch with your emotions. Yes, I know that can be scary. I remember when someone told that to me, I was just like, no thank you. That's why I ate in the closet all day long, because I didn't want to feel emotions, so I get it. However, if you aren't going to embrace your emotions, you're going to continue to live in this state of overwhelmed and frustration, resentment, anger, and those are your emotions are your attraction factor. That's what attracts experiences into your life. So if you are having experiences that are causing you to feel frustration, anger, and overwhelmed, or whatever other low frequency feeling, that's because it's in you. It's the primary feeling in your body, and therefore you're pulling it in. I was just talking with one of the women that work with me, and she just came to my in-person retreat, and she shared this story with me, and I just think it's such a potent story to realize how much your emotions how much they attract things into your life. So she shared that prior to working with me, she would have super anxiety about going to the grocery store. She hated going to the grocery store because there were so many people there. She would have like almost a panic attack or anxiety attack, and it was really, really challenging for her to go. And so then I think she's been with me 3-4 months now, and she volunteered to go to a supermarket for a friend. And she went into the market, but she went into a market from a place of, after already processing so much stored up emotion, of releasing and reprogramming her emotion, that when she went into the grocery store, she went into the grocery store in a peaceful, calm state. So guess what her experience was? Peaceful and calm. And she was like, people were moving out of my way. They were parting seas and saying, here, let me help you, right? She attracted that in by her frequency, her emotional, vibrational frequency. So if you are attracting experiences that cause frustration, that means frustration is in you and it's time to release it. And so the second way I want to share with you today into looking at what's one of the other root causes of frustration, overwhelm, stress, and that's judgment. Where are you judging yourself? Where are you judging others? Right? When you have judgment, that means there's an expectation of something. There's like someone should look a certain way, or you should look a certain way, or be a certain way, or act a certain way, or you help somebody out, so therefore they should be doing this. Judgment, entitlement. And when you hold on to that mentality, that's a very ego-based mentality, and that creates frustration, that creates expectation, that creates disappointment, because if somebody doesn't do or act in the way that you think they should, then there's disappointment. So really what you get to do is look in the mirror and ask, what within yourself are you still judging yourself on? Your past choices, your current situation. And when you dive into judgment, it gives you another avenue into releasing emotions. So really looking at judgment. And the last piece I want to share today with you is when we're looking to get to the root cause of frustration and overwhelm and anxiety and all of that, it's what's your perspective? You know, the human brain was designed to look for the problems in the world so that you could survive. That's what the body wants. That's what the human part of us wants, is to survive. Our soul wants us to thrive and be abundant and joyful. And so when we're looking at shifting out of anxiety, fear, and frustration or overwhelmed, we want to look at, how are you looking at things? Are you looking at things that are serving you, or are you looking at things that are not serving you? Are you looking at like, this is working out for me, or this is working against me? You know, I learned long ago that everything is always working out for me. So that shifts the perspective of every single experience. Every experience. So it's like, if you take on that belief or that mentality, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. That gives you the ability to see the good in every experience. Now, I want to be clear. Both perspectives exist. The good, high frequency, abundant, joyful perspectives, and also the low frequency, stressful, frustration, anxiety, annoying perspectives exist. And whatever you give your attention to will grow. Whatever you give your attention to will grow. It's like watering plants. What tree, what garden are you watering? And you know, you can say like, oh, positive thinking. That's in addition to the emotional releasing. That's in addition to processing, because I do not believe you can positively think your way out of anything. I think that's a perspective you get to dive into, and at the same time work on all of the emotions that are still stored up in your body, because that's where the lifelong transformation is. When we think positively, we're willing our way into an experience, and willpower only lasts so long. We want to embody the new thoughts, the new perspectives. But if we're still tied up in the old, our body cannot create new energy. You have to replace that energy. You have to deconstruct the energy that's programmed in the low frequency field, and then reprogram it into the vision, into the perspective that you're looking to have. So just to recap, is really looking at what emotions are still stored up in your body. 2, where are you still holding on to judgment, expectation, entitlement? And 3, shifting your perspective. Everything is always working out for me. I always say, what's good about this? What's good about this experience? What's good about this moment? Because when you ask your brain to look for something, it will find the answer, because you have all of the answers within you. You always have, and you always will. So giving yourself that time to question, what's good about this? What am I learning through this experience? How can I be even more kind to myself? Maybe we'll dive a little deeper in that in another training. So I would love to hear your takeaways below. Share, and I look forward